Hi everyone, my name is Gideon. I'm a sustainable energy engineer and I'm right here with my friend Julius. And we're here really to have a conversation to talk about matters of solar. We're trying to see how best we can get the community out there to understand why it's important to go into these spaces of solar, because we understand the value that solar has, we understand how transformation it can be. And I'm here really to have this conversation with Julius. He's a man who has been in this space, and I want him, through his words, to be able to tell us what his experience has been and share so that we can really be able to share knowledge and then see how we can all be able to make a contribution towards the green movement. So, welcome, Julius.
Thanks. My name is Humza Julius, once again, as he has said. And as far as this technology, this area is concerned, we are aiming to produce more of technical understanding on every aspect. And each person that will hear this message, whether you're a technician, whether you are any enthusiast, a client who is willing to go solar, this is an important message for you, and I'm ready to start up this conversation. And I'm not a perfect person. I've been in this field. I've met several challenges just with my colleague, and the best way to express this such that most of our friends don't fall culprits of such challenges we meet on the ground, it is speaking it out. So awareness is the best way to keep our market wide and also to expand the knowledge and understanding as far as renewable energy, specifically solar, is concerned.
Okay. So Julius, I would like to understand how your experience has been like in this space. How long you've been in this space? How long have you been in this kind of work? So share more on how that journey has been for you, really.
Thanks. It's not been so long, but I've spent on renewable energy specifically. I've been in solar pumping systems, home solar systems, yes. The previous ones where we used the pulse width modulated controls.
Explain more about that. When you say the previous home solar system, explain more. How was that like compared to what's there now?
Now, the previous home solar systems were majorly biased on low power consumption loads, or whenever you had light loads, to say these are light loads, you're having bulbs, you are having a TV, 32-inch. If you want to enjoy a refrigerator, you can't use AC. You were made to go for a DC refrigerator such that you match up with that cost. Okay. So, however much with this, remember each evolvement of technology, it comes as a solution to the prevailing situations.
I agree.
So, as a person, because I kept on asking myself, because I told you so far this is my 8th year in direct systems, home solar and commercial. Okay. So, experiencing this transformation in technology, where we were back, I want to explain about it and how it has been moving. And
perhaps also you can share within which year you began to see that kind of transformation happening.
Yes. Now, the first, because the transformation has just come here in 2021 upwards, that's where we have got an improvement in technology on a way that is affordable. You know, when China came into this stuff, that is when we started now to at least have every homestead connected to the modern solar system.
But why was there that delay? Because if I'm to put some light to that, Personally, my background is in the tower core space. And I've seen, for example, like the batteries, the lithium batteries. This technology began as far as, I'll say, for example, in Uganda, the technology began as far as around 2016. For some reason, yes, and by then the type of battery, which is the NMC type, it was very expensive. And it's understandable why there was a delay. But that movement, for example, from that time, 2016 to around 2012, we're talking about almost 5 years. For you, was it about the Chinese that were able to come and bring in this, the solar markets? There was a gap in Uganda or East Africa, and then we were able to be like, okay, let's go to this place and see how we can serve it?
Yeah, specifically, when you go on this on that matter, the issue has not been the Chinese, but it has been the competition in the market that caused the involvement of solutions to make sure that renewable energy or solar systems are affordable with the modified technologies. So before or sometime back, we had challenges, and these are the challenges that if we are to go solar and leave solar, there is a difference between going solar and leaving solar. You might go solar today, after a year you disappear from solar.
True.
Reason being, there are factors.
True.
So most of the people around this nation, Africa, as much as they are not well informed about these evolving technologies. So each technology comes with its challenges, but the challenges, the way of addressing the challenges keeps us on board. So the challenges that came with the previous one, they would not handle larger loads, bigger loads. If you have a percolator, for example, you want to cook some water, if you had you wanted to cook food specifically, you would not do that. You would not dare, however much the power bank you have.
So was it a design problem for the inverter system by then?
Yes, by then, the technological advancements were down. Okay. I remember there was a time back when I went to rectify a solar pumping system. I found when this guy had calculated the power requirements of the water pump. Yeah. So he brought our home solar inverter, the normal off-grid inverters. Okay. So when he bought it with the power rating close in his understanding and his sizing, by that time he was correct. Okay. It was supposed to match the power requirement of the pump. Yes. So when this guy connected power to the inverter, the batteries were there. I remember there were two of them, two of 12V 200. So whenever you could switch on the inverter to run the road, it could automatically trip instantly. And at that point, all the batteries would appear drained there. So now I looked at it at that time. I said, now, what about if at all, because if at all I have a home and I want to make sure that the pumping is on solar, I don't want again to get another type of solar side, I want everything to be on solar. What could be done? Yeah. Because that one had failed. So for me, I just came, I replaced that one with a direct drive. There's a water pump drives. So, because by that time you could not have an inverter which could do that. So, reason being, the internal circuitry, the construction would not manage to run the system.
Was it mainly because of the inductive type of load for the
Exactly. Exactly. Now, starting up that system, you have a pump of 1.5 kilowatt. Starting it up, you need 3 times the power, almost 3 times more than it's rated.
And why they're pushing it close to almost 5 kilowatts?
Now remember, this one has 2 batteries, 24V. Close to 5 kilowatt inverter, that is what you need. And the 5 kilowatt inverter needs a higher voltage setup from the battery end.
Definitely.
You are getting me?
I get you.
So, from that perspective, the reality has changed to the extent that now you don't need to have a solar pump aside, you don't need to have a solar water heater aside, you don't need to have a solar refrigerator aside. What you need is a system that is centralized.
Okay.
You have this one that is put in the wall, you have power inverted to AC, all surges are catered for. That is the advancement so far where we are, and the challenges were many.
That's true.
The next challenge, apart from the inefficiencies in the inverters of that time, even now they are still around, but we are looking for every means to make sure that we update the environment or the community where we are, such that if you buy this and the other one buys it, it will not be expensive.
That's true.
It will go on reducing, such that every homestead can afford.
Because of demand, yes.
So, the next challenge was on the configuration of the batteries.
So that's configuration between inverter, battery, track, you can meet the client's requirement?
Yes. Initially, we didn't have the inverter chargers. You would have a charge controller separately placed, then having an inverter draining directly from the battery. So, in that sense, you have a lot of gadgets placed under,
distributed gadgets.
And the common challenge from that is that there are a lot of losses. The losses are accompanied whenever you have here, so that power confusion.
So many conversions from different points.
So many conversions from different points. But now when the technology changed, and we got one thing like this, the inverter, that has got the MPPT controllers and the internal circuitry. You don't need an external controller. Next, you can monitor your systems via the phone. You can get to know that today the power has been low from the irradiance has been all that not good, so let me spare some loads for the next night.
That's very, very important.
Yes.
That's very, very important, because when we talk about energy, and that's specifically renewable energy, the aspect of energy management system is critical, because it supports you really to make decisions, as I could say, what to load, what not to load. Let's say at the end of the day, even when the sun is gone, you know what set of charge you're at on your battery. You're like, okay, according to what I have versus how many kilowatt hours I have really to run me through, maybe I will switch on this.
Yes.
That I have enough capacity to take me through to the next free energy window.
Exactly.
In the morning when the sun is back again.
Exactly.
So it's very, very critical.
And the other issue is that you make comparisons at the end of the month, 2 months, 3 months.
Yes.
You see, at first you can observe the power generations per month. So it's up to that time that after 3 months, after 4 months, after 5 months, whenever you see the reduction in the production, that's where you start looking for the other factors that are causing that.
But let me ask you a question just about the same thing. Just to talk about data collection for the people who own the systems already.
Yes.
So they have that capability. But do you think they know, to those that already have these systems, do you think they have, are they aware that they're able to get this data, be able to look at it, see either the different production from let's say from daily to weekly to monthly, make comparison through, as from the time they got the system to where they are, so they know which month perform better, even at the point of even seeing degradation. Which now degradation is something will come up and then we discuss it from a different angle, but at least be able to have that visibility. Do your clients or do these people who else out there who have this system, they know that they have that information is actually right there and they can be able to get it from their system.
Right now, to be honest, 60% of most of our clients are not connected on internet. And whenever we need to communicate with some of these devices, you happen to need a Wi-Fi within your premise or your homestead to be around, such that it gives this information, and that real-time information is what you get from the phone. So that is one of the primary factors as to which, however much these people have got these systems, they have not got into that knowledge that I can personally monitor the performance of my system. And it is very vital for someone who is willing to go solar to use that advantage. One, you will know the routine of maintenance.
That's true.
You will know that after 6 months, dust has accumulated on my solar panels. And by the way, most of the people don't know about that.
Yeah,
yes,
critical,
they don't know about that.
Let's also add into that point. Sometimes, depending on where your location is, there are some places who are in dust environment. And really looking at solar, in the fact that when you're talking about solar panel, you're talking about performance ratio. It's a lot to do with conversion, rays that hit the panel, and how much of that can be converted. I can imagine what a location which, let's say, a home, someone's house or business located maybe on a street, and it's a dusty street. That means there's so much soiling that has to be accumulated on these panels.
Exactly.
So do you think sometimes, depending to someone who's really serious about harnessing as much, can even get the level where they have to clean their panels monthly to make sure that their yield is fairly good?
Now, here comes now another issue. As you've stated it, we are installing these systems as people who know the technical team.
Sure.
First of all, if your technician is well informed about all these factors, he has to bring on table before sizing for you a system. You have a flat building which has almost 5 levels. On top, you're putting 19 to 20 panels. You are expecting to generate most of your loads to run on solar.
True.
So if you happen to do that, then let there be factors that have limited you from making a ground level solar system. Let's say the carport, you know, these days we are using, you are getting to modify and utilize whatever ground we have.
Very good point. Very good point. It's a key point. I think it's important that people get to understand that solar, as it is, like you explained, the aspect of maintenance becomes clear. Like it's very important. Panels, it's a lie that someone will tell you that panels clean themselves because you're tilting it at a certain angle, just like that. Every time dust accumulates, it will just go away, or you have to wait for the next rain season so those panels are clean. That's a lie. The truth is, it would be best that these panels can be, the structure is positioned in a way where you can easily do the maintenance.
Exactly.
It's very important.
Exactly.
Because once you do that, then you're able to guarantee your generation on your end.
Yes.
And one of the things that you mentioned in the aspect of the solar couple is critical. It's really critical because when you do that, then you're able to have a functional space where you can park your car at the same time.
Yes.
Set up a power plant.
Exactly.
So that you get electricity. That's very, very, very critical. Honestly, when you think about it, functional space, like, and it could even be the level of those, let's say, who wants, like, let's say, pergolas.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
You set up a pergola, It's a pergola gives you a space where you're able to sit and chill, maybe have your meal on the weekend.
Exactly.
Have some place where you're able to relax. But at the same time, you have the solar panels on top, and you're generating electricity from it that facilitates and runs your own home. So the figure really has to change. It has to move away from the thinking of roof. Because the roof comes with its own challenge of access.
Not even access. The temperature on the roof is always. Now, most people have that perspective that the higher the temperatures, the more the power generated from the solar panels. And that challenge causes these people to always assume that on the roof of the house is the best place to place the panels.
Very wrong.
So, to be sincere, if you have space, then you need either to make a solar rack or a solar carport, such that for maintenance, because this is a generation point, and this is where it all begins. That is why we've said you might go solar, but you don't leave solar. So after 6 months, you are living with solar. So in that point, you will be generating less, and next in mind will be sidelining solar. So you'll not be living solar anymore.
That is true.
And the scam will go to the manufacturer of the product. Or the solar itself, you say that the advancements in solar have been poor, as these are the challenges we've been facing before, and we are trying to make sure that our people on the ground get to understand that solar energy can do whatever the other energies can, as long as you have tackled it in the right way.
And add this, can do it good, can do it better, and clean.
And smart.
And it's reliable.
Exactly.
See, the aspect that here we're talking about when we talk about the solar, really, what we're pushing for is the aspect of reliability. I often talk to some of my colleagues and I tell them that God gave us free sun. It's a free resource, really. And this free resource, to many of us, all it does for us is give us light and make us sweat. You know, others who have cars, all they can do is now to burn more fuel because they have to run air conditioners in the cars.
Exactly.
And you barely doing anything to tap into that free resource of energy. That's right there.
Instead, you are running from it. You are just looking for ways to overcome it.
Exactly. So you get to see, but today the sun was so hot. But to someone who's generating, who has that resource, the installer is able to generate from that, generate energy from the sun. For them, they are happy because at that point, they are harnessing. They have what we refer to as homegrown energy. Homegrown energy. They grow energy at their home. Very interesting.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
And you say like everyone can actually do this because when you think about what it takes, there are spaces. You see, I've seen the transformations in the solar panels lately, and also this has been very key when you get to see how panels PV modules are moved from the monofacials to the bifacials. Now you see how the efficiency is also improving.
Yes.
You know, right now.
And shading.
Exactly. I've seen efficiency move now to 25.6. You see, you can see growth right now. You see, same square meter area, which was previously giving you 500 watts. Now it's giving you like 700. So you can imagine that level of growth and transformation that's happening.
Now, she said, to be honest, we need to come together as teams if we are to benefit into this strategy. One, the technicians, because the technicians are the most important connecting points if we are to go solar and live solar.
That's true.
These are the people who convince clients who are green about this everything.
Yeah.
So to you, our fellow technicians, you will be having this program, getting to know this program as we are, because this is an ongoing factor and we won't stop from here. So it will be better for you to ask us as more questions as you want. We are not here to brag around this. Any compliment, it is well allowed. You can ask whatever you want, and also add in more that you feel you want us to get. Because the best way of achieving our goal is not as one person, as me and you. It is a joint effort.
Benefits everyone.
Yes, it benefits everyone.
And why is important? And that one question actually I wanted to ask you is some of the feedback you get to hear people who have had solar, their dissatisfactions. Someone is like typical. And that's a very bad feeling. When someone gets to that level where they feel they invested and they didn't get the value out of it.
Yes.
Very, very, very bad. So what do you have
now,
to say
about the feedbacks of our clients, because these are the consumers of our products, and we are always eager and having our ears open to hear the feedback from what we've given them. So and these are the challenges we want us to tackle as we discuss. As you hear, most of us know that lithium batteries are very strong. They give out, some give up to even 100%.
Yes, part of the new ideas.
Yes,
Can give you that level.
100% and again recharge. So the cycle is completed within one. So the issue is here. Now when you look at that perspective, a technician who is half-baked will look at the neighborhoods or the battery that he saw being marketed. That it does cooking, it does washing, it does ironing, it does everything in a home. So that perspective gets you wrong. And this fell into my hands some time back.
That's very bad.
We had a certain technician who came and bought the package. And he assumed he knows everything about this. So we didn't go far because we thought he knows, as he had said he knows. So,
and it sounded like
yes, it sounded he had more. So he had his client. So he had told the client that once we get the other type of battery, it will be enough for you. You will no longer be going on grid anymore. You will specifically run on this battery. Now the challenge comes.
He promised the client, he promised you that customer will go off grid.
He will go completely off grid. So now this customer went ahead, looked for money. You know, these systems are expensive.
They are expensive.
Looking for 15 million, 16 million.
That's a lot of money.
It is a very expensive investment.
That's one of the
what the client expectations were too high compared to what was compared to the situation.
Of course, after someone spends that kind of money, don't know, almost $4,000.
Yes.
$4,000, $5,000. It's a lot of money. Someone has to expect, and they have the only right to expect.
Yes, sir. Now, this guy came, installed the battery. The client, when everything was done, the system worked.
How was the system like? Paint us a picture. Size. Give
No,
us a picture.
it was a 15 kilowatt. It was a 15 kilowatt hour battery. Using a 6 kVA inverter, just the same as this one, and of course other appliances. And we had 8 panels of 550. So That is a great deal of power, by the way.
Yeah.
It is a great deal of power. 550 times 8, that is around crossing to
1.1
six,
times 4, close to 5.
close to 5,000 or 5,000 something watts.
Yeah.
If you are introducing the efficiency matters, then it gives you around 4,000 at a peak point, or 4,500 at a peak point.
Yeah.
So that was enough. If I'm the client, that was enough for me.
Yeah.
Do you know, being
considering, of course, the aspect of if you're looking at to your clients out there or your future clients out there, I think why it's important is that they also have to be informed on what has to happen. If you're out there and you're interested in going solar, you need to be informed on some of this. But some of these things are not difficult. I can tell you, it's not difficult. No one should lie to you that they're so hard to understand. They're not. Because if someone comes to you and they're busy telling you, okay, this system can work for you, and they have not even taken time to visit your facility, to run energy audit your facility, to understand what your requirement looks like, then that person will definitely, something will go wrong, and then tomorrow it will be you who will be satisfied with the kind of service or product that you got. So it's important that you get to understand how the process begins, and that everything else falls in place thereafter.
That is, if you want to live solar.
Exactly.
If you want to go solar, you can go solar. But it is not easy to live solar. If you want to live solar, then you have to follow the process. It is not cheap, but when you follow the cost-benefit analysis, at the end of the day, you'll benefit. So, we rectify the issue. We told the client about the other matter of the wrong setup caused by the technician. To correct him, we had to educate him step by step. This is power. This is a battery generating this amount of units. So if it is generating, it is supposed to store 12 units. Then you are using 15, 16, 17 units in 24 hours. Where do you expect it to pick the extra 13 or extra 10?
If I may ask you, in that setup, was it a complete off-grid location, or there was grid and it was more of an inverter system, or it was like, I don't want to ever see grid again, switch it off? How was it?
There was grid first, and the grid, the perspective of the technician, from him, he had not even employed the knowledge that however much you go green completely, grid has to be, if grid is there, grid has to be there at a certain point as backup.
That was not even there? That
was not there.
Wow.
So this client would go off completely.
So bad.
So you imagine thinking about the money you've spent, which you would have gone to other ventures, and spending it on that exact point.
I can imagine the frustration.
Yes. So from there, it took me 2 weeks to at least get this person back on track.
So speaking about that, clearly means there could be quite a number of people who are going through that.
There are many.
There has to be so many people who are going through that.
There are many.
So sharing this experience, most likely speaking to someone out there.
There are many.
And please proceed and see how you're able to interject and also intervene and then get the
exactly.
Help that client.
Exactly. And that is the best way of getting to understand more is sharing more.
And experience.
Yes. It doesn't mean anything to be selfish at all.
True.
When you want, the market is too wide for someone to finish.
That is true.
We have a lot of spaces here. We have Congo, we have Sudan, we have Uganda here, we have Rwanda, we have a lot. But what matters is strategizing yourself and getting to know how to do it rightly. So this guy gets out. Now there is another scenario, another example, which because that is the challenge in power auditing, but then the results.
So, if I may ask you, as you that client who had that requirement where installed capacity was most likely able to give him 12 kilowatt hours, and then yet his demand was 15. How did you close that? Were you able now to integrate the grid, so that grid can give the backup? How did you close that? Were you able to tell him to take some loads off, that whichever load that you are going to build up, okay, these are the priority loads that you can work with, stay in the circuitry for the system? How did you solve that issue for that client?
Now, solving that issue, we had to educate her about some things that should be done.
Okay.
So one of these things were, if you want to go, first of all, we found out that his capacity, according to his capacity, this was supposed to be a backup. You are getting me?
I get you.
So remember, this system has a settings point. It has 3 options. You can rely on utility, that is a UEDCL or as our normal distributor here, or you can then utility, then followed by solar panels, then followed by the battery. Then the next is that if the power bank is as better as possible, you can go with the solar, followed by the battery, and the utility being the backup. At all points, utility has to be employed here, but most people don't understand that. Then the third one is solar panels feeding the loads, then the utility feeding the loads next if solar panel is not enough during night.
So that's more what we call the string inverter type, where there can be like load sharing between grid, between solar and then the grid. So it's more of just an aspect of managing, minimizing your energy costs.
Yes.
That's a very good one, and this is something really
that
work best for people in commercial businesses.
Yes.
Especially people whose businesses work during the day. It is something that is
the
very,
offices.
very critical. Offices, critical, very, very critical. It can really easily give you a 50% reduction in your energy bill for sure.
So in the offices, if I'm sizing for you, then I know your best major requirement is I have to size for you a large number of solar panels if you haven't to have space.
True.
Then the power bank becomes just very small to just complement whatever reduces aside.
Just to give you balancing, that it's mainly about the PV capacity, so that is a bit size right, so that you minimize the coming in of the grid, because the point is for you to save energy.
Yeah, and most of our friends here do wrong investments because of that. But it's
but also it comes down to really them being informed about how it works.
They are going, they will understand.
Yeah, because here, for example, in Uganda, my assumption here, and according to what I've seen, it's mainly 2 types of inverters that we have here. We have the string inverters, and then we have the hybrid inverter. Of course, the hybrid inverter can work as a string inverter.
At the same time.
But the string inverter can work as a hybrid inverter. Of course, in the other markets, they have what they call the micro inverters, where they have those where they do conversion directly under the solar panels and able to just pull out AC straight.
Here it is not yet now.
Here, it's not here. So here we look at string
and hybrid. So here are now remember we have covered that challenge of auditing, for auditing.
Yes.
Then there is another challenge, and this is about the right cabling.
That's a problem.
The conductors. Sizing.
Yes.
And this is maybe the major problem to most of the installers. Most of the installers. Yeah. So, for example, when you consider this gadget that is here, it's a 6 kVA inverter. Okay. So, now, the 6 kVA inverter is rated to generate a maximum of 27 amps AC. You're getting me? On the AC side.
Yes.
So what does it mean? You have 27 amps maximum coming through your side.
Yes.
And the output, you are using a 2.5 millimeter square twin and earth cable or single cable. So remember, the current carrying capacity of each conductor, if you misuse it, it has a side effect. And we've found out that most of the fires that come on all these systems because of this misunderstanding.
Yeah.
And it is for a few people. You are getting me?
Yeah.
So you have a 2.5 millimeter cable, which is maximally supposed to handle 12 amps or 15 amps maximally. You are loading it with 27 amps or 25 amps. So the next, because this is a system that we want to operate for years without stopping, running. So you are running.
And it's running 24/7.
24/7.
Yeah.
Using a current that is high. Eh?
And also not forgetting the aspect of the behavior of the user that you have no control over.
You have no control of them.
Yeah.
So from there, this cable gradually heats up. It grinds the sheath, and next will be fire. And the attribute will go to the manufacturer.
So now, this still comes back to the aspect that we're talking about, is that who's that person that you're trusting to do that job for you? The things we're talking about here is about, it's your home, it's your home. So choosing the right person to do this kind of work is very, very important. And Julius here is that kind of person who's able to execute that kind of work. Be in the space, he understands how the market looks like, he has experience. So looking out for someone who's just like him is important, and also being able to, let me tell you like this. In my world, in the telco space, we do what we call power system commission. So every time there's any kind of work that has been done, the system has to be commissioned. And the system can be commissioned by the same person who installed it. Others, like it's like setting it's like you having an exam and you set the exams yourself.
Yes.
So that aspect brings in another element of someone who's able to double check the kind of work
The
which has been done
consultant.
by whoever you give the job to. But all that can be really managed if you made the choice right by getting someone professional to do the kind of work. You take away the risk for your home and then get things done right first time round. Yes, please.
And we are looking forward to at least equip and encourage our technicians. Not, this social media has got a lot of challenges. So when someone observes a discussion like this, he directly goes in to say that they are looking for their market. They are trying to seduce clients. They are trying to, but the reality is that you need to understand. This is a 2.5, this is a 27 amp output. Then you just know the minimum you will put is a 6 millimeter square cable to run power for long. For use, maximally. There is a point where it will go into bypass function if you have grid. So if it is in bypass function, that is overload. When you have overloaded this, then you activated in your settings the bypass function. It will bypass the inversion and everything. It goes to grid direct and grid supply. Now this one is rated 6 kVA, but has a bypass function of providing close to 8 kVA. You're getting me?
Yeah.
So that means if at all you've sized wrongly here, the effect will directly fall in.
That's true.
And the challenge comes in now. Which product is safe for me? You start now looking into that these people gave us wrong products, yet it is a wrong technician and understanding of that character.
And adding to that point, Julius, is just like the things we're speaking about, it hurts me that from this perspective of someone who understands what solar can do and how transformational it can be. It hurts when you see people do wrong, and then in the process of them doing wrong, they get to discourage people who had interest. Now imagine that the person that client that you're talking about that you had to help do rectification of this system. You can imagine the pain that person had to go through. You can imagine how many people you had to speak to about that heart, all that pain he was going through.
And that is the battle we are trying to fight. Most people want to go this, but that fever that always comes, that what happens after 1 year, after 6 months.
But you see, now speaking to that as an issue, when you look at, let's say, solar PV modules, life 25 to 30 years. That's a fact.
Life.
That's life. The solar panel that you see out there, 25 to 30 years. We talk about this inverter, we're looking at maybe 15 years as life.
Yes.
Talk about batteries, depending on how you utilize it, how you deplete it. Could give you another 5,000-6,000 cycles, depending if you size it, could also give you another 15 years. And the thing we're talking about even 15 years, we're not talking about loss, we're talking about loss of, we call it capacity, let's say reduction by maybe 20%.
Yes.
It's like as if you computed lost capacity. Maybe the battery is to give you 10 kilowatt hours.
It will be.
Maybe it has just deteriorated to 8. So it still has capacity in it, it can still be able to serve you. So it's really bad when you see people have worries of 6 months, 1 year.
That is, and it has discouraged most of the people. We are looking at a way of getting rid of fossil effects that
fossil fuels.
Yes. So you have a backup system, a generator, let's say it is a 200 kVA generator, and you happened to have bought it around 157 or 200 as in Ugandan shillings, 200 million. But after a month you service it, you have to always get fuel. It is a must. And with this community that we are in, we well know that grid power is not yet stable. We are not at the other level right now.
That's true.
So you've got smart energy. First, free sun.
Definitely.
That is fuel.
So you cannot compare the free energy, the free sun resource compared to the fuel that you have to go out there and buy.
Exactly.
To get the generator to be functional.
Exactly.
The sun is direct supply. Get it, convert it, use it. The generator, you have to go buy fuel, pour it in, run the generator, generate, then use it.
But do you still understand what is making people to run away from this?
I'll tell you, and this has been some of the questions that someone will ask you, be like, but I feel safer. Someone will ask you, be like, I feel safer when I have a generator because I know it's right there, it's reliable, I can access fuel anytime. But the sun, maybe someday the sun will not shine. So what will happen there? And some people have those worries.
Yes.
And they are very genuine worries.
And
What do you have to say about
now,
that?
about that, as far as I'm here, what I well know is that given the sizing you've made, it can sufficiently run you for the time you want, as long as you've sized your system well. If I anticipate to have 3 days of autonomy,
Can still do that.
or 3 days, 3 days of autonomy means 3 days without the sun.
So the sun, it has rained consecutively for 3 days.
Yes.
Which is highly unlikely.
Which is highly unlikely.
But you are saying just in case.
Yes, just in case.
Yes.
If that happens, then if you are planning to curb that, that goes back to the battery bank. Because you see, you are storing, it is this energy storage system. So you look at that, storing energy for the future. You look at that, you also look at the charging power from the panels. If you need that kept, then you stack more batteries. And we don't need, we have reached an extent, because another issue that has been there is on the batteries. These normal 12V200 have been a challenge to most of the people who are in need of high voltage and high power requirement. You would find, and most of these people, some of them have gone through that. He got a size of around 18 batteries.
You're talking of the
gel batteries.
Big problem.
You're getting me?
Yeah.
He got 18 batteries. Some even can go as far as 36 batteries. Connected them in the configuration that suits the inverter's requirement. With a 48 volt system, 24 volt system, 96 volt system. But the challenge is here. These batteries, over time, they are not efficient, and their rate of the discharge and charge cycles, they go on. You know, when you are on a marathon, you find every run has a different energy level. So when this one runs and the other one stays behind, you are all getting caught, you are having a race. And when you have that change without internal monitoring, you'll find after a year, not even a year, 6 months, you'll go to equalize the batteries, the battery voltages. You're getting me? That stands where I'm telling you that this one is running as these ones are. So this one charges faster, the other ones leave.
So in short, they begin to some charge, then some begin to charge, but consume from each other.
Yes. At the end of the night, you'll find this fully charged, the other one having 13.5, this one having 12.5 volts. And that greatly affects the time for which the system runs.
Definitely.
So if you've set the cutoff voltage to be, let's say, 12 volts, this one will detect the voltage of the lowest cell. So it will automatically cut off. So you will find that you are not utilizing the backup that you bought. And over time, these cells, these batteries get damaged. And in that sense, that is where we employed a lithium battery, which has got a battery management system,
much more capability.
And
maybe also to add, to me, there are aspects I see in gel batteries that are really at a disadvantage. The aspect to do is the number of cycles, how many deep cycles they have. The manufacturer tells you it's 600 cycles.
Yes.
But to someone who buys that, they really don't understand what that means. But maybe to explain to you what a cycle is every time it charges and discharges, that's a cycle. That's one cycle. So in short, for most of the gel batteries, every day would be a cycle. So you can do the math. That means the most life you can actually pull out would be, you'll be lucky to get 2 years. The majority of
maximum.
The other thing was about the energy density, the capacity that you can get from them, because as it is, the manufacturer tells you can only discharge it to 50%. That means whichever the capacity is, you can only consume or like demand from that battery up to half its capacity. So the rest of the half of the capacity, you're not touching it.
That is the manufacturer's recommendation.
Yeah.
But do you know that most of our systems don't follow that recommendation?
I can't imagine.
We have, remember, these inverters would directly pick power from the battery.
Yes.
Yes. Where there is no communication from the charge control, and there is and at that point, this inverter will not say that since this battery has been rated to be discharged 50%, when I reach at 50%, let me cut off. For it to drain until this battery does not have a qualifying voltage for it to do what? To enter.
Support it.
And the result is, if you are that type of client, you'll enjoy your battery for 1 year or 8 months. So the next will be dark days. That is why we repeat again, if you want to go solar, then you have to also leave solar.
That's true.
So after 6 months, you invested 3 million. Let's say, for example, the lowest investment, 3 million for a solar system. Per day, when you calculate the consumption per day, you find you are using 3,000 per day. So if you realize the units you've used vis-a-vis the cost of the system, you'll find out that it is not a viable investment. And that has been the challenge. That most people looks at, because at first the perspective of solar energy was free energy. And free energy, if it is a genuine solar system, it should give you a cost-benefit analysis. You have to make sure that at the end of the life of the entire package you've got, the money that you would have spent on grid power should be more than what you spent.
That is true.
At the end of the 15 years or the 4 years, you've used the system.
Talking about that, just mentioned about the 4 years, give or take. When you think about, actually for me, some of the things when you look at this sort of thing, people tend to look at it as, so there's even a term they gave it, it's called a luxury good. You understand?
Luxury good.
Luxury good. So I'm sure they look at it as a good. For them, they look at, let's say, solar systems as any other appliance. For example, I'm just giving an example. There's someone who invests maybe in a TV. They don't look at it in the actual sense as an asset for them. And why am I saying that? I can explain. Why I say the solar system is actually an asset for anyone who invests in it, because it keeps money in their pocket. Whereas someone else has to go and buy units of electricity to use at home to power their home. The solar system, once they have it, now it does that. So meaning the prior investment is now keeping money in their pocket. But most people, and also I think something also we can talk about, is the aspect of cooking. Many of the systems that you guys have, I know, they have the capacity to support homes to cook. So meaning now they can move away from the dirty cooking resources, which is the charcoal, to a much cleaner.
Exactly.
Through the use of the energy, like they say, the electric pressure cookers, which are energy efficient.
Yes.
It's able to cook and quick cook fast, and it can comfortably run on this kind of system. So it saves you so much. So In aspect, when you look at it, it's like it's not even about really powering your house alone, powering the loads, but you can also carry the load or your cost, or take away your cost for cooking energy.
Yes. And
So
that is,
you imagine combining all those two, you combine your cooking energy cost, get it, combine it with the other utility costs that you've been having to spend, and then you get the solar system which is able to solve all of that at once. That's how powerful
solar is.
solar is.
So, for us, we are here to make sure that we serve everyone at each level.
Okay?
For the technician, you need to understand how these same things are made.
Sure.
Take an example. Do you know that someone can make a stand or a rack for this system,
Okay.
the inverter?
Okay.
The way it is sleeping here, he connects everything and it stays here like this. You're getting me? The batteries are down, this one is here, it is sleeping. You're getting me? So the fans to effectively blow dust away,
That's a problem.
that will be a challenge.
Yeah.
You look at that one hanging up. It is the correct posture of that system. And when we are talking about these issues, we are looking at the long-term analysis.
Yeah.
After 3 years, where is my solar system? How is it behaving? We are not looking at today after installation. Because today, when it is about today, everyone will pass. But when you look at after years, you will find a lot of people going aside. Reason being, he has used this, sleeping down. He has employed a 2.5 millimeter square cable instead of using a 10 or a 6 or a 16. And those effects are not immediate.
Speaking about that, about the cable aspect. You see, as long as you're dealing with the class, that you have no control over when it comes to behavior, so it's good to think that anything can happen. You can choose to change an appliance tomorrow. You won't be there.
Yes.
You understand? So, really, use sizing right is very, very important.
Yes.
Putting that into mind.
So when one of the things we discuss with the clients whenever we meet is that, what loads do you have right now? Said blah, 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 blah. What is your future plan as far as the power is concerned? He says, this, I want to put a washing machine, I want to start ironing, and what?
Exactly.
So when I'm sitting now, I'm designing the thing that will match with the future adjustments.
Yes.
So it is from here that I will design a system that is upgradable,
True.
that at a point when he needs the other things, he can add on a battery. You're getting me?
Yeah, I'm getting
And he still moves on.
Yeah.
He can add on an inverter
Yes.
if there need be in parallel connection, linking up to make sure that they expand power. That is the basis from which we generate information, and that is the importance of energy audit. So if you just go and design for the client anyhowly, that I have a TV, I have what, then you run on that flat requirement. Then at the end of the day, the client will not benefit. So after a year, you'll find him disappointed, looking at how he wasted his finances on doing a solar system. And I'm sure most of you there have faced that. But the good news is that there is still hope.
That's good.
We are revising ourselves.
Very important.
We want the community. This is my responsibility. This is your responsibility, someone who is listening, to go solar and live solar.
Exactly.
You have to all be informed.
Exactly.
First of all, Before the technician leaves your stage, he has to inform you the maintenance schedule of your system.
Exactly, it's important.
He has to give you the understanding on how your loads should be run routinely. He has to also teach you how you can observe the trend of performances on your system, on the display of the inverter, or if we go far using the mobile apps. He has to teach you that
For monitoring.
as far as you have resources. So remember, this is an investment, and when you invest, you have to make sure that your investment is not just going anyhow.
Exactly. It shouldn't be wasted.
It is not be. It should not be wasted. So it is.
You should be able to get value really for that money. And most probably, it's even beyond value for money, but it's because this has the aspect of a contribution to a cleaner environment.
Yes.
So there's that
Nature.
There's that extra value that
You put to the nature.
You're moving away from let's say dirty energy, and then now you're able to live sustainably with sustainable energy. So this is why we feel that it's good to have these conversations to encourage and also increase awareness about solar energy, to encourage and advocate for so many people to go solar. This is why we have this kind of drive. Really, is to have as many people join this journey, to have that freedom. Because really, for me, I find the aspect of solar that solar gives independence to people. Someone is able to know that as well as other people are suffering, maybe there's a green card. For him,
he's not even aware.
He's not even aware.
Hey.
He's not even aware. It's only when he gets out of the house and says, oh, my community is completely in the dark.
And that is where we are.
So it's kind of like, it's like someone being in a certain space, but actually like as if it's not even there. Like as if it's in another space. So that level of freedom.
There is a scenario that normally happens. And I always look into that. There are a lot of football enthusiasts who watch football, and I'm among them. So there is a time when you are watching football. At that point, electricity just flashes off, and your system to go on, it just needs 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. That is a lost joy. Yes. So we have to enjoy every moment. Yes. So at this point, I'm looking at a person who has got devised means. Yeah. Whenever power goes off, his gadget will stay on. Yeah? You are watching football, you watch it 90 minutes without meeting any. Electricity goes, you stay on. There is no blink off. That is smart switching. So that is where we are trying to make sure that we standardize the nature and the environment through which those hardships. I remember we would be at school. So in the computer lab, whenever you would be doing these practices, you would do, keeping in mind after 3 seconds, the lecturer would say, please save, electricity might go. However much you have a generator there, that standby generator won't automatically switch the system on. You're getting it? But we are having that advancement in our systems, that when our electricity has gone, you just know by indicators. But your power, your information will be, you're printing newspapers, and such just happens. You're doing some info, because we are looking at information.
That's true.
Just switching off power, it is, just imagine you are in a telecom world. Yes. Just imagine a switch of power on one of your transmitters.
I can tell you.
Just one small minute.
Let me tell you something about the telecom space. In our space, 99.999 is not equal to 100. We don't round off. We go on almost 4 decimal points. What does that mean? Aspects of power availability are key. We do not lose uptime for our clients ever at all. We don't do that. So, ensuring that the sustainability of power flow to the plant's equipment is key and takes priority at these days all the time. And that's really the beauty of this system now that we get to look at and like, okay, now this system has been built because of that changeover in milliseconds. Even if they say there's a grid cut because it's connected to the battery, it's able to give you that kind of transition back into the battery storage without actually having to cut off your roads. So
mind you, we are not marketing this product, but this has been brought as a sample of what we have been, and this is one of the manufacturers that are here on ground. But there are a lot of more. There are a lot more of them.
Okay.
But for you to easily understand the flow and understanding each device how it moves, it is better to look for those people who can help you bridge that gap. Otherwise, you will go into such scenarios. And there is another issue that I always discourage my people from doing. So you find someone, because he's economically well, he has been an importer of things and he well know what it means. So he looks at the product in the domestic market and he looks at the price, he looks at that a reduction if he goes direct to the other side and he gets. Now there is a challenge that most of these systems we get, they have got different softwares. So if you get a system whose software is not common or whose configuration, whose spare parts are rare, it happens to be that there is a night one of the FETs or any device inside gets challenged. You don't have any local after sales person to work up on you. You bought one gadget, you don't have any other. What do you do? That is a complete wait. You call in China, phones are off, they are in a holiday. You will wait until 3 months, that is when we'll send you a spare, or they communicate to you after 3 days that you do this, and that is good when they have even communicated to you. Most of people do so. They don't know the consequences because we are looking at the sustainability over time. So if you happen to be someone who is not going to venture into many of these, if you are not a business person who's doing this business and you are bringing this to market such that your efforts are tied to that, I don't recommend you to just go out there and bring one.
Yes, you would say that, but to them, they have to make money, really. For them, really, that becomes a hard one to pull off because they see other businessmen. When they see an opportunity, they have to go for it. Otherwise, they know things sell, they can get them, they're cheaper, they're affordable, they'll bring them. But
on that aspect, I'm not looking into a person who goes to bring them here out for sale. You're getting me? I'm looking at that client, the consumer, who has the capability to do that.
So you look at the consumer, such he has to be informed if I'm buying, in case my system has an issue. Am I able to get support?
In time.
So that it can be rectified and resolved, then I'm able to give back on the system website to serve whatever the function is supposed to serve. Speak to that as an issue. That means now it becomes very important that the consumer is informed. on that level of informing comes the aspect of what the consumer consider before buying. Most of the time, they go for price.
Mostly,
And
they are
if
blindfolded
go for
by the price.
They may end up into that trap that you're trying to really expound on. So how can you really guide them to know that it shouldn't be about the price, but it should be about the sustainability of whatever system you buy and the external support that you can get in case you need us, in case you need support.
So about that issue, my recommendation is, if you want to go solar and stay solar and live solar, make sure that you have got a system that has been tried, tested, and given a report from different ends. Next is now understanding the line of distribution. There is a point I remember when I was going into this, I bought a charge controller for these street lights from a certain distributor. So when I bought it and I went and I read its manual, I didn't understand it. I called to this person who had sold me this. So he said, for me, I don't know anything about those things. If you bought it and it has refused, then you wait, I first call, let me call. Never called. You're getting me? So why are you getting these things? You'll be overhyped by the understanding on the prices, but when challenges come, you will not be attended to.
Yeah, and they always do.
Because this one is aiming at, and these are the people who sell these products at a hyped price than what they ought to be. So when he sells it at a price that is too high to handle, these products have got warranties, and it gets a challenge before its warranty time.
Give them a picture of how those warranties look like in the market. I think paint them a picture of how that looks like.
A picture on the warranties, a warranty is always an issue on our system, the inverter. So if we give you a warranty of 1 year, it has specific areas that it is supposed to be valid. For example, negligency of your technician that causes this one to get damaged, you'll never be repaid. Your money can't be reimbursed to you. You can't be even given another product.
Oh, yes, substituting.
You're understanding?
Yeah.
You've got a technician charging you the lowest penny. You've bought this at a high price. You're saying, I'm looking for the most cheap technician who can do this for me. You're getting me? From here, if the technician is doing a non-right job, then that means your system will not be given that chance. Then if at all, when we talk about the lightning strikes, those natural hazards, this one can't survive on that. That means you have to be sure that the lightning arresters, you have connected them properly, and you have done this, you have protected it with the surge arresters, such that you curb those natural hazards. And you only remain with the product functionality. So if it so happens that this product just keeps silence in the next following night, or after a month, or after 1 year, and it has been given a warranty of 3 years, then it is to understand that this product, if you have gotten a distributor who's genuine, a seller who is genuine, he has to give you another one. He has to contact the department from where I got this product and say, this one just kept silence, yet you gave me a warranty of 3 years. What happened? If it is rectifiable, because there are factors that if it is rectifiable, it can be rectified, and if it is not, it is beyond repair,
Just
replace it on free, for free. You're getting me?
That's true.
So the challenge is when you get this distributor who has got this at a very high price, looks at now getting this one and giving it to you at the end of the day, you will say, please wait for me. You'll never achieve that. So the line of distribution matters before getting to know the price first. You'll be having the surety of that. You have warranty cards. Some of you don't understand the purpose of the warranty cards.
Yeah.
When you're given a product and you are not given the warranty cards, you just buy anyhowly, no receipt. These are the factors we face with those so-called masqueraders into this business. We are not blaming anyone, but we are looking at that person who's serious. You might not be an electrical engineer. You might not be even a solar. You might be a businessman who wants to venture into the project and get more. So you have to lay strategies to maintain your client line. That is where you have to get an after-sales department to look into that always. You have a workshop for repairs. If that...
So in short, it's good for the client to ask those questions.
Yes.
In case this system gets a fault, you have a workshop that does the repairs, or do you provide this kind of support? If you don't get a clear answer, it's not a signal that most likely it's not the right place to buy from. And I'm not, this is just purely for awareness. To get that you make that decision, you make it for money from the perspective.
Yes. And we will keep on enlightening you. We need the future of solar energy bright. So as long as we see every evolving technology coming in, we first look into its challenges. Lithium batteries have got a high charge density requirement. So it has that high charge and discharge capability.
Yeah.
So in so doing, we are looking at that current that is maximum. So at any point, which might not be likely, we have to put in safety measures to these systems.
Yeah.
So we've gotten a lot of havoc in the field there. You find someone has installed this system and the battery has installed them in the bedroom of the client.
Wow.
You're getting?
Wow.
In the bedroom. And the reason that the client gave is that I'm not secure outside there, the people might steal them.
So meaning now the aspect of safety comes in. I'm not talking about, we're talking about safety, because these are gadgets. They have to have their place where they're installed. And when did it even get to a level where these gadgets are now being installed in sitting rooms, in bedrooms? Since when?
It only comes in as the result of the technical area, the weakness in the technical area.
And lack of guidance.
Lack of guidance.
People can't guide them. I've also been informed of some even put them in corridors. Imagine a corridor where you have kids moving around. All that kind of risk that you're exposing to your family. All because you don't know how dangerous actually this can be, or how illnesses can be to your people. So, please enlighten more.
The basic way would be that anything that carries power has its hazards. That is why at every pole when we go in electricity, at every pole they do grounding. So safety is a key role on every aspect as far as these systems are concerned. So here are some of the things that you should consider as a technician, as a...
Before you go for that point, where would you recommend this system to be installed safely?
You have a room that is isolated, that we call a power room.
A powerhouse.
A powerhouse.
Yeah.
Specifically design it there. Let it be a powerhouse, not for everyone to access.
Then it has also controlled access.
Yes.
Specifically, a few people can
A few people can access that.
Yeah.
Next, because we are looking at the wide end and we are looking into where to at least curb most, because it is not everyone can accommodate that powerhouse or what.
Right.
But we are looking at how safe can we be with these systems.
Yeah.
They are providing power, but when mishandled, they can be a harm to us again. So you have gotten the power room. That is one.
Yes.
Then, if not the power room, there is a certain room that you don't normally use and doesn't get people there always. You're getting me?
Yeah.
That is number one. Those are rooms.
Yeah.
Then, if it is the corridor, if at all you have been forced and you only have the corridor as the only available place,
Yes.
you should do a casing mechanism such that these systems can just be observed but not
And be
touched. You close and leave. And again, someone will ask, when I close,
Is that when you close out, how are you managing the heating aspect?
the heating aspect. Now, here, whether it is a power room that we've mentioned, it has to be well ventilated.
That's true.
The aeration has to be there. The air saturation, because once this dust is blown, it has to be blown away and it goes. But once you put it in a confined place where there is nothing like that, it will be blowing dust and accumulating here. And at the end of the day, the heating causes these things to work more with a lot of energy and force. And at the end of the year or certain time, less than what it has been designed to stay, it just disappears.
True.
It just wears off. So one, the ventilation. If you are doing that casing, make a porous casing. You have a mesh where you can't pass a finger but air pass. You have those windows with louvers.
Louvers, yes.
Closed but aeration. There are some who even go ahead and put them at the staircases down there.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever come across those scenarios where the only point that the system can be is the staircase down there? So below the staircase, there are some challenges. One, the frost and dampness.
Oh,
Next is the air saturation.
yeah. Yes.
Due to the tightness of the space there.
Yeah.
If you are to do that, make sure that you have an air conditioner sited down there.
Comes with an extra cost.
With an extra cost. Because we are looking, this is an investment. You leave it, you go.
And if you don't do it right, you lose.
You lose.
Because
You lose.
the way, with all the sensitivity that comes with the inverter, also the sensitivity of the battery, lithium has to operate within specific temperature
Yes.
levels. Beyond
Temperature.
that, becomes really, you lose the degradation then becomes much faster.
Too much.
Yeah.
too much. So with that aspect of aeration, there I can allow you to go in the staircases. But if all factors are kept constant, then we should always prefer separate rooms with nothing inside put there for them to be effectively managed.
That's important.
You only drive raw power to the main switches and other points.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good.
That is it. And there is another issue specifically. We have discussed it, but it has to be an emphasis to everyone listening.
Please guide and emphasize it.
Washing and cleaning of your solar panels.
Please explain.
Clean your solar panels if you want to generate much power.
Exactly.
There is a factory I passed by some time back.
Yes.
It had, I looked on top, it had over 300, 400 solar panels. But the cover on top, you know, the factory setup, the roofs have got a very small negligible inclination.
Yes.
And the panels are almost flat aligned.
Yeah.
So the panels were completely covered with dust. And I was well sure that this person is not well educated about the efficiency of the solar panels as far as dust is concerned.
And speaking about that, Julius, you see, when the panel is rated, let's say 600 watts, that is ideally what we call, it's under what we call an STC.
Standard.
Condition. That's why even when they say the rating is more 600 watt P, the letter P means peak, meaning at its best, the most you will get out is 600. But to achieve that, these conditions have to be met. That panel, as they give it to you, is clean. Purely clean, like it's clean. Meaning, to give you that, has to be clean. Now, for someone to assume that you will get a panel installed at their home, and it goes 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, and there has never been any cleaning of those panels, and they expect to still generate the same capacity. That's a lie. So, aspect of maintenance of panels, very, very key.
Very key.
Because that's how you're able to maintain or to achieve the capacity that you thought or that you've ever achieved at the beginning or at the start of when the system was installed for you. I think it's very, very key, and that there is any takeaways they really have to get out of this. That should be one of them. For those who have
yes.
It's important that you take it, you have that as a takeaway. And maybe you can also have another takeaway that you can be able to share with them. Maybe on the aspect of course, the sizing. You talked about the aspect of the cable sizing. It's critical. You talked about the aspect of, for those who want to go into the market to acquire one, asking questions is important. Those questions help you to inform you on the decision of where to buy. Because as you want to buy, you need to understand that you can be able to get technical support when you need it for your system. You can be able to get warranty, and also the aspect of who does the work. Just like Julius here explained, you need to be very keen on the kind of technician to give this work. It's critical. I know for sure that there are so many players in the market, and those players, and some of us say the coming of TikTok, okay? It looks like it produced so many engineers,
Yes.
People go out there, they learn on job. Someone comes now, they are presenting. Some of them even are presenting other people's work.
Yes,
And
some
say,
can even present. Because
this is what I do.
it just shows you that this is it. Yes, there is a, by the way, there is a point that happened to me. I finished installing the system, then I handed over to the client, and the electrician came in. The electrician, remember we had departments. I've given power, the electrician has to come and distribute. To my dismay, I saw the electrician. I went on TikTok and I saw my system properly explained. Blah, 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 and this, if you want this, you can contact me, I can. But this technician had never called me, never texted me up to now.
Exactly.
But he's marketing my product and he has never asked for my consent. So in that sense, as a client, he looks back and says, this man has done this work, this is the right thing I need. Yet he's dealing with the wrong person. So it is better if you're observing from the side of view, the technical understanding. These TikTok posts, it is better to see a working picture. You observe someone trunking, doing some cabling. That work explains that the owner is the one demonstrating.
Not a finished product.
Not a finished product. Otherwise, you will be scammed. There are a lot of people there.
Yes.
And we are again, this happens also on the market. Remember, we are not marketing anyone. We encourage every producer of these devices to come in and get us informed about the trajectory of their product line. We have got people faking other people's products.
So you are, according to you, you've seen that a lot in the market.
Yes.
Of people coming up and
duplicating. So
that's very bad.
Whether you're duplicating, that is not. But my major emphasis is that you do your brand. Whether you've duplicated, name it yourself. Let it be you, and let you be accountable for what you've made. So don't duplicate this product. Name it. Do this, and force us to buy a product that does not belong to you. This is the challenge, and most people are silent, and it is running down there. They are getting these products when they are completely used up. They use the batteries. They smash them with jelly and make it as far as clean as possible. And they sell to you as if it is very new. And actually they sell to you more expensive than even a new product.
This is happening in the market.
It is very visible.
So if all this is happening in the market, then how can a client out there, the one that comes to you for this kind of product, how would they able to distinguish? Because now clearly you're opening up to the people on the kind of, on how the market looks like, which really gets them to be like, okay, the market is this messy, what do I have to do?
Where will I go?
Where will I go?
Now, this goes to what we call understanding of the source of the product. That is the major key.
Yes.
Then you have got these systems having their seals and serial numbers of the products. Each system has. So, if you are not conversant with what he's telling you, do that. Check the serial number. Then, again, there are other additional features that we need these manufacturers who are hearing us, these people, to put across to us such that we display them to the community. So that when someone goes to buy something, he is well sure that what must I check to know that this one is a right product. Just like you get a paper of money, you look into it and you observe that there is something missing and you just throw it away. Yeah. That is the way how we can fight this. It should be a coordinated move. Yeah. Every manufacturer, whether which product, each product on market, just to know it is being faked. And the person that properly gets to fact check that the product is being faked is the real producer of that product. So we need you people, because however much I might be talking about the certain brand of device, battery, or that it should be like that, it should appear like this. If you know it is appearing like this, don't. If you test it, because there are some, like the solar panels. The solar panels, you will find the seal that it is rated 600 watt.
And the capacity is different.
Yet it is a 420 watt panel. Just got a nail stick and just placed on top, and you will buy genuinely at a lower price and you say the other people are expensive. But you are cheating yourself. So the best way is to, of course, to us technicians, we test them. Yeah. I test your product. When I get this, I just know that this product is fake. Yeah. So if you buy it from wrong hands, that is what happens. Yeah. So this, whether you're a technician, because on the technician side of you, we always look for the cheaper point where we can at least add our difference. You get it? I'm looking at that. So if you are a technician, before doing that, you have to also look into what you're selling, because you add on a certain point, but what you're selling will not pass. And what happens? They will look for you. They will look for you. The police is there. You've entered into a home of a minister. This person is well connected. Whatever point you are, he will look for you, and he gets you. And most of my friends, by the way, have ended in prison. He's not the fault, the cause of the fault, that he has just went on the market, he bought this battery at a certain price, and this person convinced him that it can weld, it can perform, it can do this. It doesn't do. So we need you, our genuine manufacturers of these products, to come in and specify, give us a narrative. Just like we see the telecom companies try to say that if you see this number calling you, please, it is a scam, run. We have got a lot of scam in this market. And if you don't run, you'll fall a culprit. The technicians are not wrong, but the sources are completely damaged. So when the technician recommends that you need this and this, and the client trusts the technician, this technician goes out and buys, the system doesn't perform, and the technician is blamed for the work. Yep. He has done good work. We are looking at the various ways, because everyone is accountable into this point. Whether you're a client, whether you're a technician, whether you are a supplier and a manufacturer, you are all into one chain, and we all have to be one if we are to benefit. Yeah. Let us clean the market. And doing so, it means you have to give us information about your product. What should I discourage if I find that the product is painted the same to it? What differentiates your product from them? Yes? Yeah. You're getting me? Yeah. So that factor is what I will push in my technician to always look for whenever he's getting out. So he goes on phone, he tries and make sure that, because we found out that most people know that to know that this is a genuine product, I have to go on phone and I scan the serial number. I get to know exactly this is SN, this and that and that. Yeah. You're getting that. But again, these people go on and take that off.
That you can't validate.
You can't validate.
That's a problem.
So our manufacturers, you've got a task. Our distributors, the after sales team, you've got a task to at least whatever the brand you're selling, let it not be fabricated. And at this point, I believe everyone will enjoy responsibly, as we always understand.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Julius, with all that sharing and conversation, personally I've appreciated this conversation, and a lot more will be coming. This is, like I explained earlier, this is a space we feel like there's not been so much of information sharing going on, awareness of what's happening in this space or in the industry. And we will be really helping out and giving this kind of support in terms of providing the information that's needed. And Julius here today was able to provide us with that kind of information on the relevance and how the market looks like, and what's needed, where it comes, what needs to be done. And we really appreciate him so much. And with all of this, we also say that thanks a lot to us, and thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
Until we meet again.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Amen.
And